Every story leaves something behind, a whisper, a shadow, a question that was never answered. Here, we dig through the forgotten files, the unsolved mysteries, the chilling true crimes, and the horrors people wish had stayed buried. From haunted legends to real-life nightmares, every tale is pulled straight from the horror archives. So turn down the lights, put on your headphones, and step carefully, because once a story enters the horror archives, it never truly leaves. Tonight we have 3 stories, all involving Discord, the messaging platform that millions of people use every day without a second thought. These aren't stories about hackers or data breaches. These are about something more personal, more invasive, something that starts with a screen and doesn't stay there. Our first story tonight was sent in by a listener who hasn't touched Discord in over a year. He says he doesn't plan to ever go back. The reason why is hard to argue with. The breathing started on a Tuesday night around 2 in the morning. I was sitting in a voice channel on a small Discord server, maybe 15 members total, just hanging out with 2 friends while we played Valorant. We'd been in the channel for hours, and at some point, my friend Jake noticed there was a 4th person connected. The username was just a single underscore. No profile picture, no server roles. None of us recognized the account. Now this was a private server, invite only. The owner, my friend Marcus, had the link set to expire after 1 use. We figured maybe someone's invite got shared by accident, so Marcus checked the audit log. There was no record of anyone joining. The account just existed in the voice channel like it had always been there. The breathing was faint at first. I thought it was Jake's mic picking up his fan or something. But when Jake muted himself to test it, the sound continued. It was slow and deliberate, not like someone who forgot their mic was on. It had a rhythm to it, like whoever was on the other end was listening very carefully. Marcus tried to kick the account. Nothing happened. He tried to ban it. The option grayed out. He even tried to disconnect it from the voice channel manually, and Discord threw an error he'd never seen before. Just a string of numbers. We all went quiet, and that's when the breathing changed. It got closer somehow, like the person adjusted their mic or leaned into it. And then, very softly, under the breathing, I heard something else. My name, not my Discord name, not my gamertag, my real first and last name, whispered so quietly I almost convinced myself I imagined it. Jake heard it too. He typed in the text channel, "Did that thing just say your name?" I felt my stomach drop. Marcus immediately killed the server, deleted it entirely. We all disconnected and sat there in silence on a group phone call, trying to figure out what just happened. The next morning, I woke up to a friend request on Discord. A single underscore. No mutual servers. No mutual friends. The account had been created that day. I declined it and blocked the account. An hour later, another request from a different account. Same underscore username. Same blank profile. I blocked that one too. This went on for 3 days. Every few hours, a new friend request from a new underscore account. I changed my Discord privacy settings so that no one could send me requests unless we shared a server. The requests stopped, but about a week later, I was scrolling through my DMs and noticed something that made my hands go cold. There was a message thread with an underscore account, timestamped from 2 months before any of this happened. I had never opened it. I had never seen it before. I clicked on it, and there was a single message from the account. It was a Google Maps screenshot of my apartment complex, zoomed in close enough to see the number on my building. The message had been sent 8 weeks before we ever heard the breathing. I deleted my Discord account that night, and I haven't made a new one. What I keep thinking about is that the message was sent 2 months before that night in the voice channel, which means whoever it was didn't find me through the server. They already knew who I was. The server is where they let me know. That one is unsettling for a very specific reason. The timeline doesn't work the way you want it to. It means the watching started long before anyone noticed. The next story is worse. This one comes from someone who ran a Discord server designed to help people, a mental health support community. What they found one of their moderators doing is genuinely disturbing. I should have noticed sooner that the new moderator knew too much about me. I ran a mental health support server on Discord, about 3,000 members, and we were always looking for trustworthy mods. A user named Ren had been active for months, always saying the right things, always available late at night when the server was hardest to manage. When I promoted them, it felt like an obvious choice. The server ran on a schedule. We had venting channels, support threads, crisis resources pinned in every channel. It was a serious operation. People shared real things there. Vulnerable things, names, cities, medications, family situations. We took privacy seriously, or at least I thought we did. About 2 weeks after Ren became a mod, a member named Sophie DM'd me in a panic. She said someone had emailed her personal Gmail account, quoting things she had written in our server's private venting channel word for word. The email address was a random string of numbers at a throwaway domain. The email ended with the sentence, "I know you better than you think." I felt sick. I checked the server audit logs to see who had accessed what, but moderators had broad permissions by design. I started watching Ren more closely. They were online almost constantly, which I'd once thought was dedication. Now it unsettled me. I checked their account age. It was older than the server, which seemed normal at first. But when I looked at their message history, their very first message in the server perfectly referenced an inside joke from our community that had happened weeks before they supposedly joined. Like they'd been watching as an alt before ever participating. 2 more members came to me that week. One said someone had found their Instagram using details they'd only ever shared in our server. Another said they'd gotten a Discord DM from a blank account that included their home address and the message, "You should lock your back door." That member lived alone. I confronted Ren over DM. I kept it calm, asked if they'd noticed anything unusual, if they'd shared any server information with anyone. Their response was immediate and long. Too long. They wrote paragraphs about how much the server meant to them, how they would never betray anyone's trust. But buried in the middle of one of those paragraphs was a sentence that stopped me cold. They referenced my mother by her first name. I had never, in any server or any DM or any public profile, mentioned my mother's name. I removed Ren's permissions immediately and banned the account. Within an hour, 3 new accounts joined the server in rapid succession. All had usernames that were slight misspellings of Ren's original name. I banned each one, but the 4th account that joined used my real name as its username. I locked the server and started going through Ren's mod actions from the past 2 weeks. They had accessed every single private channel. They'd used their mod tools to read flagged messages that were supposed to be automatically deleted. They had compiled a document, which another mod found linked in a hidden channel Ren had created with permissions that made it invisible to everyone but themselves. The document was a spreadsheet. It had columns for usernames, real names, locations, workplaces, mental health diagnoses, and something labeled leverage. There were over 150 entries. I reported everything to Discord's trust and safety team. They disabled the accounts, but told me there wasn't much else they could do. I contacted local police, who told me that since no direct threat had been made, there was nothing actionable. I shut the server down permanently. Some of those members still message me once in a while, asking if anything ever came of the investigation. I tell them no, because that's the truth. Ren, or whoever they really were, disappeared completely. But sometimes late at night, I wonder if they are in another server right now, being helpful, saying the right things, waiting to be promoted. And I wonder how many of those 150 people still don't know they were on that list. That one bothers me because the predator didn't break in. They were invited in. They were trusted. This last story is the one that made me pause before including it in this video. It involves an anonymous Discord server, a series of escalating tasks, and a threat that hasn't ended yet. The invite link was posted in a thread about lost media, and I clicked it without thinking. The server was called Floor Zero, and when I joined, there were no channels visible except one called Lobby. There were 412 members online, but the member list was disabled. I couldn't see a single username other than my own. The Lobby channel had one pinned message. It read, "Participation is not optional once you enter. To leave, complete all floors. Refusal will be noted." I almost laughed. It sounded like an ARG, one of those alternate reality game servers that people set up to be creepy on purpose. I'd joined a few before. They were usually fun. I typed hello in the lobby. The moment I sent it, a new channel appeared in my sidebar called Floor 1. I clicked into it. There was a single message already there, addressed to me by my Discord username. "Welcome. Your first task is to confirm your location. You are currently in," and then it listed my city and state. It was correct. I felt a small chill, but rationalized it quickly. IP geolocation is easy. Any bot can approximate your city from your connection data. I typed "yeah, hey, close enough," and a new message appeared, "not approximate. You are in," and then it named my specific neighborhood. That was more precise than IP data should allow. A new channel unlocked. Floor 2. This time the message contained a photo. It was a screenshot from Google Street View of a row of houses. One of them was mine. The message beneath it said, "Confirm which is yours." I did not respond. I sat there staring at my screen in my dark bedroom with my curtains open, and I felt suddenly horribly aware of how visible I was. I closed the curtains. I tried to leave the server. When I right-clicked the server icon, the leave server option was not there. I don't mean it was grayed out. It was not present in the menu at all. I tried on the mobile app. Same thing. I tried the browser version. The server didn't even show up there, but it was still visible and active on my desktop client. Floor 3 unlocked on its own. The message was a photo of me, not a social media photo. It was taken through a window. My window. I was sitting at my desk, taken from outside. At night, the timestamp in the channel said it was posted 40 seconds ago. I stood up so fast, my chair hit the wall. I looked at the window and saw nothing but my own reflection against the dark glass. I grabbed my phone and called my roommate, who was asleep in the next room. He came out confused and half awake. I showed him the photo. He went pale. We checked outside. The backyard was empty. The side gate was closed. There was no one on our street. But when we came back inside, Floor 4 had unlocked. The new message read, "Your roommate's name is," and it listed his full legal name. He should not have been involved. This will be noted. My roommate told me to call the police. I did. They came, took a report, checked the perimeter, found nothing. They told us to screenshot everything and follow up in the morning. After they left, Floor 5 appeared. It was a recording, an audio file about 14 seconds long. I played it on low volume. It was a recording of the phone call I had just made to 911. Not a recreation. The actual call. My voice. The dispatcher's voice. The exact words I used. Floor 6 unlocked. The message simply said, "Final floor will open when you are alone." I have not been alone in my house since. It's been 3 weeks. My roommate and I have staggered our schedules so that someone is always home. I've factory reset my computer. I made a new Discord account, but every few days, when I check my old account on a burner device, the server is still there. The member count changes slightly each time, and Floor 6 is still locked. The last time I checked, there was a new message in Floor 5. It just said, "We can wait. I don't know what happens on Floor 6. I don't know what happens if I'm ever alone." And the thing that keeps me up at night, the thing I cannot stop thinking about, is that 412 people were online when I joined. That means 411 people were already inside, and I have no idea how far they got. And that's where tonight's file closes, but the archives are far from empty. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe and join us as we uncover more horrors, mysteries, and true crimes hidden in the horror archives. Until next time, keep the lights low, keep listening, because you never know what story we'll uncover next.